We just had a bunch of major news coming to real estate, and if you don't understand everything that's coming, you could be losing out on money or losing out on a property or just altogether not know what's happening. In today's video, I'm going to be breaking down the top 5 things you need to know before buying or selling in today's market. But first, I am a realtor here in Orange County, so if you are looking to buy or sell, make sure you reach out to me. All my information will be in the description below, but I will also put my number right here. That way you can easily give me a quick text or call. But now we'll get back into the video. So number 1, the big headline is the 50-year mortgage and Trump. Now everything that I've seen has basically been Republicans saying it's fantastic and Democrats saying it's horrible. Now, in my opinion, like with anything, it has nuance, so I'll talk about the pros and the cons. Now, the major cons is on a 50-year loan, you're going to be paying hundreds of thousands of dollars more in interest. So you're going to be paying a bunch more money for the exact same house, and the only person who wins in that scenario is the bank. So for that, it's not great. Secondly, it's a band-aid on a bullet hole. It's not going to fix the overall market. And also on top of that, if we're creating more affordability and not more supply, we're going to have more demand and the same amount of supply, and prices will most likely have an upward inflection because of it. So that's kind of the basic idea. And third, also don't be someone who you can already afford a home and you're like, well, I can afford X amount more of a home and get my dream home with a 50-year mortgage. Please don't do that. It's a bad idea. But the pro is if you're somebody who's been on the sidelines and just on that cusp of being able to afford, but you can't do it, and now with the 50-year mortgage, you can get your foot in the door, build some equity for 5 to 6 years, sell that home, then go buy another home with a 30-year loan. That's going to be a great way for you to start building equity. I forget the exact number, but the overall wealth of a renter versus a homeowner is like 40 times or something like that. But the basic idea is if you can get your foot in any way into owning a home, it's a great idea. Just don't allow it to just make you spend more money that's unnecessary. Number 2, the government shutdown is finally going to be hopefully opening. It's currently November 11th, and I believe either tomorrow or the next day the government's going to reopen. And the thing to look out for with that is when the government was shut down, we had a lot of government reports that didn't come out that severely impact housing. Now, we're all guessing it's going to be not great for the economy, which is good for housing because interest rates are going to come down. So when we see all of those reports, if you see a bad jobs report, if you see high inflation, all that means is we're going to have lower and better rates. Now, if things come back and we're creating more jobs and inflation is getting better, we're actually going to see mortgage interest rates go up. So make sure that's something that you watch out for. And third is Fannie Mae is now expanding their credit limit. So what that means is currently you need a minimum of a 620 credit score to be able to get a loan through Fannie or Freddie Mae, or Fannie or Freddie Mac. But now they're going to do possibly no credit. So the basic idea is they're still going to check your credit. If you don't have credit, it's going to fluctuate, how much your interest rate is and all of these things. It's still going to have an impact. However, you have people who make tons and tons of money, but they leverage a lot of their business on their credit and it destroyed their credit. So they make great money, they can afford the payments, but the credit's doing it. So long story short is it's making buying a little bit more realistic for the people who might be in bad credit scenarios. So it's fantastic if you're somebody who's been priced out of the market, not by price, but just by credit. So make sure you watch out for that. Again, this is another thing that isn't fully out just yet, but it has a very high likelihood of coming. Number 4 is the mortgage rates. They are stabilizing as of today, November 11th. I believe it's 6.34%, which is still lower than we saw at the beginning of the year. We saw them go all the way down to 6.13, I believe it was, before the last Fed meeting. The Fed meeting didn't go so great, and then it went up to 6.34. But the basic idea is right now we've been hovering between 6 and 6.5%. Realistically, we're not going to go anywhere above or below that in the next couple of months. So waiting for rates to plummet really isn't the play anymore. Into the next year, we might see rates in the low 6s, below 6%, maybe into the second quarter of next year could be likely. But the basic idea is rates right now are staying below that 6.5% range, which for a lot of people creates a lot more affordability than when we were above 7%. So make sure that you go get pre-approved or talk about possibly refinancing if you bought in the last 1 or 2 years. Fifth and finally is what's going on with the overall housing market and prices. Now everyone's saying that the crash is coming and prices are coming down, but actually the most recent report by the National Association of Realtors shows that 77% of the major metros here in the US actually saw an increase in price. The only place that didn't was actually here in the West. It went down 0.1%. So basically it stayed flat. Here specifically in Orange County, we actually went up 0.1% in the Santa Ana, Anaheim, Irvine metro areas. So if you keep hearing all the headlines, prices are coming down, there's a crash coming, just throw it away. It's not true. We're having a stabilization, which is actually great because the basic idea is prices are hopefully going to stabilize, jobs are going to get better, rates are going to get better, and because of that, we're going to see, a more of a gradual increase in price and the actual, so to make it kind of good. So what's been happening for the past few years is here's home prices skyrocketing, and this is kind of how, jobs and the overall market. So the market and the jobs and how much money people are making is getting way outpaced by housing. So now we're not going to see housing go like this, but what we are going to see is housing go a little bit softer and the overall economy hopefully get better is the plan. But will that happen? Who knows? But that's what we're shooting for. So those are the 5 main things that you need to know before buying or selling in today's market. I hope you enjoyed that video. If you did, make sure you subscribe because there is videos just like this one every single Friday. But as always, thank you so much for tuning into this week's video. Can't wait to see you in the next one. We'll talk soon.